Well, that's well said, and only said in a Nugent way, no doubt about it. And to our listeners, you see our military members out there, in a civilian situation. Make sure you go up and thank them as we always do. We're going to let you go. We thank you so much. Quickly, though, what do you want to say to Governor Palin? I know you had that great show together. I know you two have backed each other many times when you're both under attack. Some words for the governor, who just spoke out about the Iran deal the other day and is doing her thing very well on the campaign trail, out there with candidates, out there, speaking against Iran and speaking up for something, not only the Second Amendment issue that you and her are both on board with, but also common sense overall.
Well, I speak not just on behalf of the Nugent family, to the good Governor Palin and her family, but on behalf of literally tens of millions of people that share common sense. It remains common and sensible that I witness every day on Facebook and in the social media in my travels across this country. So we would like to say thank you to Governor Palin and her family for the risks and the sacrifice that they make every day on behalf of self-evident truth and the American way. And I am honored and humbled to be welcomed into the Palin family household as a friend, as a fellow hunter, as a fellow freedom fighter, and certainly as a blood brother of what we call the great spirit of the wild. So Sarah Palin and the entire Palin family and all Americans who keep fighting, God bless you all, Godspeed, and have the greatest hunting season of your life. And remember, never over and never out. You never back down, you never give up, and you never give in. I hope the spirit is always at your side.
Ted Nugent, not only have you lived an incredible life from a career standpoint and from a rock and roll standpoint, you're living an important life and helping a lot of people along the way, whether it be kids and a lot of grown-ups who sometimes act like kids, and maybe we'll see the light here as we move forward. We thank you so much for being with us here on the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio, and best of luck to you in your hunting season.
Yes, indeed. Backstraps forever. God bless you all, Kevin. Thank you.
For more on Mr. Nugent, visit tednugent.com. This past week, Sarah Palin delivered an important speech on Capitol Hill. She joined Donald Trump, Ted Cruz, and Mark Levin to speak out against the hideous Iran deal. Palin thanked those in attendance for raising their voice of sanity. She blasted Obama's big selfie stick and outlined just why Congress must kill the deal. Palin dealing in the real world and pointing out the madness within Obama's Orwellian world. You can see and read the whole speech right on the Mama Grizzly Radio Facebook page. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page, follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA, and be sure to check out sarahpac.com.
Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
Do you remember? Do you remember where you were that day? We must, as a nation, remember how we felt individually and collectively as a national soul on September 11, 2001. If it were up to me, I would have the end of every evening news program in America end with the video of the jets slamming into the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the remnants of a smoking Pennsylvania field every night. The farther away from our national memory, the dimmer those events become over time. Maybe because looking at the truth and the real reasons why those men committed such atrocities would be overwhelming. I think there's even more to it than that. Truth hurts. At least that's what I remember my great-grandmother telling me as a young child. Today, I remind my boys that the hardest thing they may ever do in their entire life is tell the truth, because it usually means it will be them heading up the responsibility of serving others or demonstrating truth and standing alone to do it. And there's no disputing the fact that Islamists want to kill us. They want to destroy America. Islamists want to eliminate America and Israel because of what we represent: truth and light, justice and freedom. And for anyone stuck in doing evil and with a black heart, this hatred of all life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is more than cancer. It is a demon eating away at their soul. The PC police in our own country, they're working from darkness, where evil and perversity and lies are revered and worshipped in the name of environmentalism, justice, and choice. What was up is now down and right is wrong. But that's only if you're looking at it from a weak, broken, pathetic frame. Last week, police officers in our nation were murdered in cold blood in the name of justice. A county clerk right now sits in a Kentucky jail because of the truth that she believes in God's ordination of marriage between a man and a woman. And our president changed the name of a mountain in Alaska in the name of environmentalism. What in the world are we, you and me, allowing in our nation? The only reason these things are happening is because you and I allow it. We are not standing up. We need to do more. The truth hurts, doesn't it? It is up to us. 4 years ago, I met David Beamer, father of 9/11 Pennsylvania flight hero Todd Beamer. Of course, I was completely choked up when I met him, thinking about that heroism and courage and unbelievable sacrifice of his son. I don't know, as a parent, how I would react. I don't know if I'd have resilience to even get up ever again. However, I take comfort in knowing that Todd Beamer sacrificed everything because he imagined what might happen if he didn't act to save others. Thank you, Todd Beamer. Thank you, David Beamer, for the sacrifice of your son and those other passengers that gave up their lives for us. How amazing. I can tell you, God knows Todd Beamer and the sacrifice of all Americans on September 11. What are you prepared to do for the sake of your fellow citizens, especially those who are coming at this from a weakened and broken frame, who don't even realize the danger our nation's in? Are you going to sit back at the back of the plane at the end of your cul-de-sac of your life and watch others jump into the fire, run toward the front of the plane, and stand in front of evil because you're afraid or unsure or scared? Please, don't you think that George Washington was afraid and unsure and scared before he crossed the Delaware? Absolutely. I pray every day I have the courage and commitment in my faith and my fellow countrymen to stand up and do the right thing, even if I am the only person standing. I'll do it. There's no other way. This week, as we remember September 11, let's remember the brave and the fallen, but let's remember the survivors and what we must do in their honor. We must fight. We must never, ever surrender that which we hold so dear. What is that? Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, whatever that means for each of us. Our founders didn't say the pursuit of everyone getting a house or everyone getting a phone or everyone getting free food. Our founders said life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness was up to us. I don't see the American dream as out. It's just low on fuel, and you and I are the fuel to continue to not just remember those that have come before and had great sacrifice to make our nation better, but we must pick up the pieces. It is our privilege to pick up the pieces and create opportunity for more life and more freedom, so that freedom grows into a bonfire that is seen around the world, that instead of allows for a refugee crisis, those refugees, those people in those dark nations feel the fire, and it's so hot they must stand up against the tyranny in their own nations and reclaim it. What are you willing to risk? What are you willing to do to stop this encroaching tyranny? Will you stand on the battlefield with me? Will you stand on the battlefield of life at great risk for truth and your faith? I am. I'm raising my hand. It's me. Take me. I will do it. Be light this week. Be loving. Be kind. Shake a hand. Say thank you. This week on September 11, my boys and I are going to be baking cookies like we always do. And we'll deliver them to our fire station and our police department, and pay our respects and say our thank yous to those who protect and serve. Whatever, our military, our first responders, and law enforcement who are not feeling the love. As neighbors and friends, we must stand up for truth every day. There can be no more exceptions. I want to know what you're thinking this week about all of this. You can always send me a note on Twitter at Tamara Colbert, hashtag Mama Grizzly Radio. May God bless you, and may God forgive us, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. I'm Tamara Colbert for Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tamara Colbert in Texas, a very special edition today, looking back at 9/11. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn more about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. Now our weekly commentary, Steel Resolve. Here's Sarah Steelman.
Thanks, Kevin. According to this weekend's Wall Street Journal, a new study published by the Federal Reserve of Philadelphia confirms that student debt hurts the economy. The connection is that small business creation has decreased by 17% because those starting new businesses are already saddled with huge student loans and simply cannot incur more debt. Most businesses in the first 5 years need capital obtained from loans to operate, thus the drop in new startups. In fact, according to the article, the Fed found that new firms with roughly 5 employees dropped 17% on average between 2000 and 2010 in counties where relative student debt grew by 2.7%. The authors actually called the correlation significant and economically meaningful, which in academic publishing means huge. They also found that Midwest middle-class families are hit the hardest by student debt. We know that small business create approximately 6 out of every 10 new jobs. Entrepreneurs are the engine that fuels growth in the economy, yet new college graduates are less likely to start a new business simply because they are burdened with huge student debt. It's a vicious cycle and must be reformed before it's too late. This is Sarah Steelman from Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tune in again next week for another segment of Steel Resolve right here on the Palin Update. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy, and Steel Resolve, is on demand and available for download, so just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also, like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook, and follow along on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Colbert, at Sarah_Steelman, and at 3DSTS. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com and search Kevin Scholla. I want to thank Sarah Steelman, Tamara Colbert, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Ted Nugent. And thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, 3D Security and Training Academy. Visit 3DSTA.com. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lori Ann Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update right here on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.